Buenos dias, y'all. RGT85 here. Hope everyone is having a great day. The Knicks won by double digits last night, so I'm very happy. But of course, we've got some video game news to talk about. A couple stories going on that I definitely want to cover. If this is your first time on the channel, hit the subscribe button, like, share, all that nonsense. But without any further ado, let's get into what's going on in the world of video games. And we're going to start things off with a little bit more about the Sony acquisition of Bungie. Of course, yesterday on the channel, we made a full video going over all the details about it. The $3.6 billion acquisition. But one thing I saw a lot in the comment section of that video that I kind of wanted to address, because I feel like people are being a little naive with this, is the fact that a lot of people seem to think that this Bungie deal is actually going to remain a multi-platform, third-party, independent studio type of deal. And on the surface level, I can understand why people seem to think that, because obviously, you know, that's what was said in the initial press release. That's the message that they are conveying with this purchase. You know, Jim Ryan saying, oh yeah, they're going to be, you know, completely independent and they're going to do this and that and multi-platform. But you have to remember something with these companies. These video game companies are not your friend. They're not your friend. They're not here to necessarily do what you want them to do. They're there to do what makes them money and what's best for business. And when you read the press release, especially from the Bungie side of things and the PlayStation side of things, where they're sort of talking about bringing in this studio, it honestly sounded a lot to me like when Xbox purchased Bethesda, because yeah, they're kind of giving this motif and this image that yes, you know, in the future things are going to be multi-platform, but how long does the future actually last in this relationship? Obviously, video game companies can change things on a whim. Sony being a company that changes things on a whim with the "we believe in console generations." Oh, just kidding. Here's all our latest PS5 games also available on the PlayStation 4. So my main thing with this is I would tread very lightly with this. I would be very cautious with this. Bungie themselves is not a company that releases a bunch of games all the time, so it probably won't be something that's as prevalent as we've seen with Microsoft's acquisitions. But I definitely feel like, and it's not necessarily sinister or anything, because I understand how the business of things work. You want to, you know, put your best foot forward. You want to talk the talk, but you still want to conduct business in the way you want to conduct business. So I would tread very lightly with this. These video game companies, I've said it before and I've said it again, they're not your friends. Okay, they don't care about you. They care about bottom lines. They care about dollars. They care about making money, making shareholders happy, and doing these huge vacations that they usually take. So, you know, if you believe that this is going to be a multi-platform deal, that's cool. I definitely think in the immediate future it will be, but as far as going forward in the beyond future, you know, kind of in a couple of years, I definitely think that tune is going to change. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, one of the biggest communities within the Nintendo universe is, of course, the Super Smash Bros. Community. Ever since this game debuted on the N64, this game has definitely taken on a life of its own on the competitive side of things, which is interesting because not a lot of Nintendo games really have that sort of competitive edge and atmosphere that you would see like in other games like as Call of Duties and stuff like that. But games like Smash Brothers, games like Splatoon have definitely gotten that competitive edge to them and really built communities around this. Now, of course, there's been so much stuff with Nintendo versus the Smash Brothers community, shutting down events that are using games like Super Smash Brothers Melee, but it seemed like Nintendo was actually going to start embracing the whole Smash Brothers community and doing tournaments of their own. They just announced a tournament for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and at first glance, you know, it seems kind of cool. We look here, we got a nice big graphic. There'll be the Nintendo versus Challenge Cup, February 2022 of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, taking place from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. Obviously, this is going to be a very big event, so you would think that this is a good thing. You would think this is a good thing for the Smash Brothers community, that people would be very excited about it, but you gotta read the fine print with this, because Nintendo is, oh my god, they're completely missing the mark with this. Taking a look at the prizes that you get, the top 8 players will win smashing prizes, oh very punny, like My Nintendo Gold coins or a Nintendo Switch carrying case? Like a $10 carrying case. The grand prize also includes a trophy, a jacket, and a backpack. Now, why do I bring this up? Because of the fact that when it comes to competitive games, people aren't playing them for a case, for a backpack, for some My Nintendo coins. These people are dedicating their lives to playing games competitively, specific games competitively, because of the fact that there's money in this. And there's obviously going to be money involved in this. I don't know if this is going to be something that's broadcast on Nintendo's YouTube channel, but I have to imagine it would be. I have to imagine that this is just, you know, a ton of free publicity for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a game that has sold exponentially well and obviously has a large gamer base. So the fact that you're not giving out actual money, actual cash prizes, definitely sort of diminishes the whole thing. And you might be saying, well, people should play video games just to play them. They shouldn't try to monetize it. And like, I understand that sentiment, but this is how people make a living. This is how some people make a living, playing games competitively, playing for, you know, 20 hours a day, playing the same game over and over again. I couldn't do that. That's way harder work than what I do. Like my job is a cakewalk compared to that. So to not offer any monetary stuff, a lot of Smash Brothers players in the community, they're not really interested in it. Like, clout and recognition only gets you so far in life. At the end of the day, money is still what drives everything. You know, we just talked about it. We just talked about how these video game companies aren't your friends. At the end of the day, they're trying to garnish money for themselves. But Nintendo, throw people a bone here. Like, if you look at the Twitter thread in which this was posted in, somebody put that, like, the Brawlhalla Esports Year 6, $1 million in cash prizes, like $1 million, and you're talking about a backpack, a carrying case, like how Nintendo feels after getting a first place backpack. Like, you know, it's a cool sentiment. It's obviously, you know, the trophy itself will obviously be something that's a bit one of a kind, but this isn't what the Smash community wants to see. They want to see some greenbacks. They want to see some money, because that's what drives, you know, esports. Esports is $1 billion industry, and you can't give the competitors any sort of money while you are monetizing this. So, just a bad look, Nintendo. And finally, a big Nintendo Switch game has finally been revealed, and there's a lot more to this story than just meets the eye and just meets the surface with this, because it kind of goes along with the whole motif of this video of the business side of the video games industry. Now, the game in question is, of course, MLB 22 The Show. And I know what you're saying, you know, who cares? It's a baseball game. It's a sports game. If you don't care about sports games, obviously this isn't a big deal to you, but this is a big deal because this is a Sony developed title on a Nintendo platform. This, of course, also comes to the Xbox. You get it available on Game Pass, of all things, but this is really showing the business side of things. Now, as far as MLB The Show 22 on the Nintendo Switch is concerned, really, we haven't had many great baseball simulation games. The only sort of sim game out there was, of course, RBI Baseball, and it wasn't all that great. You can see here, there's a bunch of stuff. You could pre-order it. Comes out on April 5th of 2022. I find a lot of things interesting with this, though. They have cross-platform play with this game, so that's pretty cool. You can play against, you know, Xbox users and PlayStation users. You can customize everything. You got your Dynasty modes, all that sort of stuff. Of course, there is a hefty download with it. 17 gigs with the physical version. A micro SD card sold separately is indeed required. Up to 8 players. I'm not very familiar with how this sort of works, as far as, you know, I guess could be part of the Dynasty mode. Like, maybe you could have multiple teams playing. You do like an online Dynasty mode, which would actually be pretty cool. But yeah, this is obviously a very big deal. Now we're going to take a look at the box art for it. So taking a look at the box art, we can see the PlayStation Studios logo right there on a Nintendo Switch game. So, you know, a lot of people are just going to be like, oh, it's a baseball game. Who gives a crap? But this is a big deal. Imagine during the PS1 and 64 era, or the GameCube PS2 era. Imagine a PlayStation developed game coming over to a Nintendo platform with the PlayStation Studio, or I guess it would be like, what, 989? Because 989 was making most of the PlayStation games back then. A 989 game on a Nintendo console. The video game industry is changing, and I think really that's what this whole video sort of encompasses. It really encompasses the video game industry changing. Major acquisitions happening at almost a monthly basis now. Nintendo themselves getting involved in the esports side of things for their video games. Whether or not it's, you know, it done well, I guess that's a debate for another day. Sony developed games coming onto the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox platforms, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, the Xbox One. The industry is changing, man, and it's changing rapidly, and I don't know what's next, and I guess that's kind of weird, but yeah, this is a huge deal in my opinion. A PlayStation developed game on the Nintendo Switch. I'm very interested in checking out this game, you know. I think it might be a really good fit on the Switch if they do a good version of the game. I'm sure they'll want to do a good version of the game, but yeah, here we go, folks. The industry is shifting, and I don't know how to handle it. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to give me your feedback in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like and share the video. Check out videos from yesterday on the channel. I actually uploaded 2 videos because there was a lot of stuff to talk about. So make sure you guys go check both of those out just in case you missed one of them. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.